Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Cyberman Show. Today, I'm going to share lessons from the recent report that I read on single vendor SASE from Gartner. It's a magic quadrant where Gartner evaluates various vendors against a specific technology, and in this case, it was single vendor SASE. So, I'll be talking about the key learnings, key data points, and I'll of course share the magic quadrant results. With that, let's get started. So Gartner notes that by 2027, 65% of new software-defined network purchases will be part of single vendor SASE offering, and increased from 20% in 2024. Now this is interesting. If you look back how technology has evolved, SD-WAN started evolving almost a decade back. We saw a bunch of companies getting into this domain, making it very easy to steer traffic uh, on SD-WAN and trying to save money on the MPLS side. As security followed, the rise of SSE happens, that's Security Service Edge, and eventually the single vendor SASE as a technology evolved. So, what is single vendor SASE? It's a capability where multiple converged network and as well as security capabilities are delivered by a single vendors. Now, if you are looking into my screen on YouTube, I'm sharing a diagram from Gartner. Essentially, it gives you a detailed view of how SASE infrastructure is theoretically, and it's all about entities trying to access resources that can be anywhere with a consistent user experience. Now, in these two important capabilities are the network services and the security services edge. So in terms of network capabilities, it involves SD-WAN, WAN optimization, QoS, routing, SaaS acceleration, content delivery and caching, and similar other network services. The objective is very simple: to make sure that the end user gets the best network experience without any jitters and delays and other such reasons. In the second technology, which is SSE, it includes Secure Web Gateway, CASB, ZTNA VPN, Firewall as a Service, Remote Browser Isolation, Encryption, Decryption, etc. So essentially, it's all about getting security services on a cloud infrastructure. Now, SASE cloud infrastructure essentially involves both network as well as the security services provided as a cloud infrastructure from a single vendor. Okay. Now, of course, there is context needed in this architecture, which includes the user and device context, the context of the policy, threat awareness, data awareness, and it's built on the zero trust access architecture. Okay, so a single vendor SASE essentially is a technology where both the network as well as the security part are provided by a single vendor, and we'll look into more details further. Now, if I have to talk about the specific capabilities in terms of core and optional as defined by Gartners, so the core capabilities include firewall services for bidirectional enforcement, secure web access via proxy, inline SaaS access control, which essentially includes malware scanning and data security to cover at least 3 SaaS enterprise suites like Microsoft Office 365, Salesforce, and Google Workspace. The core technology also involves a branch appliance that supports dynamic traffic steering across multiple physically attached WAN interfaces, traffic steering based on well-known application, not IPs and ports. Essentially, it has to be application aware. What that means is I should be able to allocate traffic based on the critical application at the branch. Example, if a collaboration app like Zoom or Teams is a critical application for infrastructure, you can just configure that policy that this application gets the best network experience, and so on and so forth. Also, the branch appliance should be deployed at customer's physical branch location to determine branch location to directly terminate connectivity. Also, identity, context, and policy-based secure remote access to private applications, not just network access, and that's very critical. Okay, your context should be available irrespective where you are connecting. We are going to internet as an end user or as a branch, or you're accessing a private application. Your context should be there. Then endpoint software agent for connecting users to SASE offering, a centralized management console that provides all these capabilities with support of both GUI and API to enable provisioning, visibility, troubleshooting, reporting, and granular configuration and policy changes. Also, core capabilities include single pass scanning for malware and sensitive data which may be parallelized to provide better performance. Point of presence at minimum number of locations, SLAs of the cloud service. The core capabilities also talk about SSO support by integrating with third-party IDPs. Also, customers' flexibility to define sensitive data inspection policies and apply them via inline network data inspection. Now, the optional capabilities include remote browser isolation and network sandboxing. Now, these are things that are defined by Gartner. What I'm noticing across all the vendors that I have been tracking is that new use cases are getting added in the SSE side at least. Okay, so example, the secure enterprise browser is one capability that got added by certain vendors, and other capabilities including integrations with SOC, etc. are added by some other vendors. So this is getting evolved over time. Okay, now if you talk about the magic quadrant results themselves, so if you're familiar with the MQ, there are 4 quadrants in leaders, challengers, niche players, and visionaries, and they're plotted through 2 axes: the ability to execute as well as completeness of vision. So in the leaders quadrant, it's Palo Alto Networks, Cato Networks, as well as Netscopes. In visionaries, it's Cisco. In niche players, it's Forcepoint, Cloudflare, HPE, and in challengers, it's Fortinet and Versa Networks. Now, if you have to compare this to 2023, when the first report came out, Palo Alto Networks was the only vendors in leader. Forcepoint was part of visionaries, and it has now moved this year to challengers. Cato was in challengers; it has moved to leaders. Versa Networks and Fortinet Networks were in challengers. They are still in challenge, but they've changed some places. As well as Juniper Networks used to exist in the niche player category along with VMware, and both of these companies are no longer present in the niche player. Okay. Niche player, I've seen entry of Cloudflare as well as HP Enterprise and Forcepoint. Okay. Forcepoint was a visionary; it came into niche. So all these companies have changed places. So Palo has gone a bit up on the execution side. Cato Networks has done a massive jump, and that's very impressive, which is moving from challengers to leaders. And Netscope, which was not even there, is part of the leaders. So this is the first time Netscope has featured. Now, what's interesting is other SSE vendors like Zscaler, they're not there. They're very popular, but they're still not there. Why that could be is because Gartner has a certain criteria in terms of number of customers, revenue, etc., and that's why these results. Now, what you will see with time is some of the things that I'm also observing is companies that have multi-product or use cases, multiple use cases. They're going towards a consolidation approach. It's especially with large enterprises who have just too many tools. They are consolidating. So platformization is happening. I'm seeing that trend. You can see that trend in the numbers of the top players in the cybersecurity industry. If you notice their SEC filings or their quarterly reports, you will see those trends coming up. Okay, so this will come. So what I'm recommending to all of you is go ahead, learn, understand the differentiators, understand how one product works versus others, how the tech itself is working. So if you come from SSE background, try to learn networking. If you come from network background, try to learn SSE. I'm also seeing networking teams trying to learn security a lot. Okay, if it's full SASE, typically network team will take control, and if it's just security SSE, it will be security team who will be taking a lead. So, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.